Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you a kind of impromptu project that ended up being a lot of fun. Making this beautiful Edwardian-ish hat when I did not know anything at all about making hats. So let's do this. But first, I would like to thank the sponsor of this next portion of the video, my reptile crate. Now, if you'd seen a few videos before, you might have seen my snake crate, and my reptile crate is from the very same people. It is a brand new line of subscription boxes that come once a month to teach you about the amazing world of reptiles. Not just snakes, but specifically things like turtles and alligators and crocodiles and a whole bunch of other reptiles like that. In each reptile crate, you get activities and information sheets, as well as things like stickers, keychains, pins. Ooh, look at that! It's a pin! All sorts of different fun little activities and knickknacks for you and your family to enjoy. You learn a lot about each reptile with a whole care guide. So this is a great way for you to learn about the amazing world of reptiles. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can enhance your experience with a 4-ounce bag of Snake Espresso, my Snake Crate's exclusive snake-themed coffee line. And if you're interested in trying this out and learning about the amazing world of reptiles, excuse me, this is not helpful. I'm talking about reptiles here, not cats. Oh my goodness gracious. Go to myreptilecrate.com and sign up for a monthly subscription or for a single box. Thank you so much, My Reptile Crate. Now let's get back to this really fun little project. Now, when I was making this little blouse, I knew that I wanted to have a rather Edwardian costume to wear for the reveal. And since I wanted to have the reveal be outside in a nice little park, I knew that as a proper Edwardian lady, I would have to have a hat. And as the only other hat that I had was this adorable little beach hat, I figured that I should probably have something a little bit more Edwardian to wear. Now, I know absolutely nothing about making hats other than what I've seen in a couple of videos here and there, but I knew that I had to have something. Hello. You are very cute. Yes, you are. You are so cute. Sweetie. Do not chew on flowers. Thank you. No. Oh. Cat? Yes, you are the center, the focus of this video. None other but you is important at this time. No. So in the book, Voice of Fashion, on page 282, there is a collection of fanciful hats of August 1903. And I looked at these because it was very close to the blouse pattern that I was doing. And I decided that the one on the bottom left looked fairly easy-ish. And it had a upturned brim, a tiny off-center crown, and a bunch of flowers and leaves to cover the whole thing with. And I figured that might be a good place to start. So I had this idea for a nice kind of asymmetrical oval brim that I could wear either like on the side of my head or maybe a little down, a little up, a whole bunch of different directions. And I wanted to have black satin on top and then have a little bit of this floral fabric underneath to help it all tie in together. So there are a few different ways of making hats that I'm not going to go into too much since I have no idea what I'm doing. But one simple idea is to have a sturdy wire in the brim to help hold the brim into place. However, I don't really have the tools for that, and I didn't really have the wire for that either, so I figured, okay, that's not going to happen. Another way is having it be made entirely of felt and having a hat block that you stretch and shape the hat over, and that's definitely not an option since that requires, you know, woodworking skills and heavy steamers and felt, and so no, that didn't seem like the right idea either. So instead, I came up with my own idea, which was to use cardboard. So I just grabbed a cardboard box that was round, and I made pretty much the biggest oval I could. And I held it up to my head to see if I wanted it to be trimmed a little bit here or there. And then I figured out where I wanted to have the crown be. and I wanted it to be a little bit asymmetrical and a little set back and to the right. And then I cut the rim, crown, not the crown of the part on top. What would this part be? The rim. I'm going to call it the rim, even though that's not the actual term. I'm sorry, hat makers. Please correct me in the comments because I don't know what I'm doing. I wanted it to be... Why? I wanted to make the rim of the crown section to be out of a similarly sturdy material, but something that would bend. If you've ever tried to bend corrugated cardboard, you know that that is not exactly an easy task. So instead, I just grabbed something akin to a cereal box and made the rim from that after having measured the hole that I had made. And I made the whole crown section a little small since I didn't really want it to stand up very much from the brim. It's more of just a decorative feature and a place to know where to set it on the head. It doesn't actually help you. So the next thing I did was to tape together the brim and the rim of the crown section, and it was pretty easy. I just used regular Scotch tape, didn't want to do anything too complicated. And the next thing that I did was to sew this blue fabric onto the entire thing, just to provide me a starting point so that I wouldn't have to worry about sewing the more delicate fabrics directly into cardboard or having to tape them on or trying to figure something out like that. I sewed around about half of the rim with the sewing machine and then turned it inside out and then just hand sewed the rest of it on. Then I went on to covering it. Now I wanted to make sure that I had some nice black satin for the top, and I had just some spare fabric sitting around. And I think that I started with this part actually because I wanted the black part to come over the edge. So I'll try to pull this part out. This is basically just a tube of the chiffon that has been gathered around the center, and I actually did it with both the chiffon of the blouse and a black chiffon on the inside to help cover up the blue foundation fabric that I had in here. And I sewed it along the edge, and I made sure that this edge here had a nice finished edge so I wouldn't have to worry about it fraying. This part is just another bit of that cereal box type cardboard that I added, and I wanted to make sure that I could modify this as much as I wanted to. So this actually just kind of sticks in like so, and it's held together with safety pins. After that, I added on the black satin to the crown, I believe, and I wanted it to be really nicely finished along the edge. One thing that I definitely tried to focus on was to have this crown section be at a bit of an angle because I thought that was very elegant. So over here it's only about a ½ inch high, over here it's about 1.5 inches, and it is kind of an odd shape. It's not perfectly circular, but nobody's really looking at this part of it anyways. And then I added on the brim, which on the inside here, it's not even really finished all that much. It's just kind of turned in and then held together with pressure. And then over the edge, there was a lot of like pulling and making sure I could sew it on. And I did add a little bit of polyfill to the edge here just to help it be nice and soft. So it's a little floofy here, which is really nice. And that was pretty much it for covering it. The next thing I did was I went to Michael's for one of my absolute favorite things in the world, which is buying fake flowers. I don't know why, but I have always loved these aisles in any craft store. I had a lot of fun with a little piece of my fabric, and I compared it to all of the leaves, all of the flowers, all of the little extras here and there. And I ended up finding a few that worked really nicely. I found these like orangish, peachish, I don't know, they're kind of like peonies, kind of like somewhere between roses and peonies. And I thought those would be a nice way to have some of the orange with the background included in there. And then for the other flowers, I wanted to have a color that would work well while also giving it a little bit more pinkish tones. So if you look at the flowers themselves of this fabric, They are kind of a burgundy color, and as I mentioned in my blouse video, there was this ribbon that I had found that I had really liked the pink of, and it's kind of a dusty color without being too salmon. It's just a really, really pretty color, and so I wanted something similar for the flowers. And that's an incredibly hard color to find, but I was very happy to find two flowers that worked perfectly, one of which was this humongous, dusty, purplish, pinkish rose, and this was just absolutely beautiful. And there was only one of these on the stem, and it was kind of expensive, so I'm glad it worked perfectly, but it works very nicely with the roses on the fabric, and I was very happy to have it. I also had these smaller, I don't know, wild rose type things in a very similar color, which was very exciting. I also wanted to make sure that I had some leaves in it because the picture had quite a few different leaves. So I kind of did a combination of a few things, including leaves from the other flowers, but I also wanted to have leaves that had a little bit of purple in them just to help tie everything together. And I was also excited because a lot of Edwardian hats had huge feathers in them, but I didn't want to have any real feathers. But I did find these floofy grass things that were the perfect color, and these were so much fun to add onto it. It just adds a little bit of extra drama. The next thing I did was to actually attach them to the hat, and I didn't want to sew or hot glue them on because I didn't know if I wanted to reuse this hat for something slightly different or if I wanted to change it. So I did kind of a combination of floral wire and safety pins. So on day of the photo shoot, I wanted to figure out a way to actually attach it to my head. And at first I had tried to do a real, Edwardian pompadour look for my hair, but I feel like the hat might be a little too small for one of those really big Edwardian hairstyles. So I ended up just doing a French twist, which ended up working just fine. So I thought maybe I would just kind of have it tilted to the side like this. And when I ended up actually putting it on my head, it kind of slipped down to be like really on the side of my head. But I feel like that actually worked in my favor because it looked really cool. I think this hat just decided to live entirely on the side of my head. But I think it's okay. So to actually attach it to my head, I attached these light bulb shaped safety pins so that I could take bobby pins and basically thread it through there, and that would be a pretty secure attachment point for the hat onto my hair. And that worked really well, actually. So yeah, this was a really fun project. I had initially not really planned on making a hat at all for this film shoot, but it just felt perfect and I had a great time to just do it one day. And it was a lot of fun. I think this process took me 3 or 4 days to make, but beyond that, I'm really happy with it. I think it's gorgeous. I think that at some point I want to get a hook and just like hang this on the wall back there because it just ended up being so pretty. There's something about this color combo that I really love, and having it against the black fabric just looks really elegant and very dramatic, and I really enjoyed it. Hello, you are so cute. Oh my goodness. Hi. You are so precious. Don't worry, I'm not going far. Just stay in the camera. Relax, relax. Hi. Why are you so cute over here? Hmm? What? What is it? Look at the tummy. How am I supposed to film with you being so distracting? You're so cute. Yes, I love you. Meow. Oh, excuse me, that's my face.